everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm here with Bryan, and in this one we're going to be touching on what it takes to work with a seller right now, what the expectations and the reality is, and things that you can do as a listing agent to make sure that you get your seller the most money for their property in this market. So we all know that pretty much all over the country, it is a seller's market, which means that there's virtually no inventory. There's more buyers than there are properties for sale. And what we are seeing are multiple offers and homes selling extremely above asking price. So Bryan, the first thing that I want to touch on is, let's say someone's watching and they have a seller that's thinking about doing repairs. What do you think about repairs, and should a seller be doing repairs right now?
Good question. And one thing I want to say real quick so people have an understanding of how low inventory is. There's more realtors, licensed realtors right now than there are homes for sale.
That's crazy.
Let that sink in, right? Crazy. So repairs. You know, at this point, the way the market is, unless it's something huge, maybe, and even then, I really don't think it's in their best interest. I look at what our team is doing and the way the market is. I mean, you could literally, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care where you're at right now. You could be like in rural, I don't know, Montana, right? And shout out to Montana, right? Because I love Montana. You can literally go on the side of the street and put a cardboard box on like a little lot that you like dig out with a shovel, and you can probably get like 300,000 for it, right? Here in LA, you probably get 500,000 for it.
Oh my gosh.
Anything will sell, right? You could be freshly licensed and put a home on the market, and by the time you click submit on the MLS, like 2 minutes later, you'll have 5 offers in your email. Right? It's that crazy. So does somebody have to do repairs? Well, sure they can, but it's not a necessity, right? A lot of stuff that's normally you know, stringent, we can say negotiation between buyer and seller, and it's like a nail biter, and oh my God, well, we should only give this much and we should keep it even and fair. Think of when you throw a piece of food into a piranha infested lake and it's that's like a new house for sale and all the buyers coming. That's how like it is.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. And you know what, right now we are working with a seller. Her property is in a city out here, and long story short, it was tenant occupied. Tenants were not paying. It was really a bad situation because they didn't pay her for a year. We had to get the sheriffs involved, eviction. Anyway, they're out, and she was like, you know what, Loida, I just don't even want to deal with tenants anymore. I just want to get rid of my property. They didn't leave it in the best condition. In fact, it was better than what I thought it was going to be, but there was still things that were not working, like sliding doors were not opening, the garage wasn't working, a lot of termite damage from the outside. It looks like it needs a lot of work.
Tell them everything.
And yeah, it was really bad, but I mean, at least the tenants didn't put cement down the drain, so I think we're good. But anyway, I told her, you know what, ultimately, the way that the market is right now, as long as we price the property based on the condition, it's very likely that we're going to get multiple offers and sell the property as is. She lost over $20,000 in rental income that these tenants were not paying. So she doesn't have money to be able to put in money for repairs or paint the property, because she was paying out of her pocket to make sure that she paid the mortgage. She never filed for the forbearance program or anything like that because she just didn't want that in her record. So I told her, let's put the property on the market for what the value is based on the condition, and I guarantee you, because it's a home in a really good neighborhood, we're going to get multiple offers, and chances are there's so many buyers that there's going to be at least 1 or 2 that will be willing to take the home the way that it is and fix it up themselves. Because ultimately, if it's a family that's looking for a long-term home, they can make the changes to their taste, spend as much money as they want or as little money, and then you don't have to worry about that. So that's exactly what we did. We listed the property yesterday morning. 2 hours later, I had already 5 showing requests. And right now, it has been 24 hours later. I already have 3 offers, and they're all above ask and significantly above ask, with some of them removing the appraisal, the inspection, the termite, and like all of the contingencies. So that is definitely something that you guys can keep in mind. Now, if a seller were to say, you know what, I have like $5,000, I do want to do some type of repairs, are there certain repairs that you would recommend could make a difference?
Yeah, cosmetic. Upgrade your windows, paint, right? Maybe do a cleaning of carpet or upgrade the floors, maybe, right? And that would already be pushing it. but just, you know, do some landscaping, do some basic stuff to spruce it up and make it look nice and more appealing to a buyer, right? If you have any bad smells in there, get rid of them. Mainly cosmetic stuff. Don't gut the kitchen and the bathrooms and do all this stuff, because that's really just too much, and someone's going to come in there and build it to their taste anyway. You want to keep it neutral, keep it basic, right? And that's pretty much it, right? If you're spending more than a couple grand, unless you have a mega mansion, I just think you're spending too much money, especially in market conditions. Right now, again, you could even have a hoarder house and you'll get multiple offers and sell it for way more. I mean, we were about to wholesale a deal for like $440,000, a little bit less than that, in South Central LA, complete hoarder house.
Yeah.
I mean, if we showed it on video, half of you would probably throw up. It was that just unsanitary and disgusting. Like, you couldn't even walk through into some of the rooms because it was just full of a bunch of junk. And to see the prices, even I'm sitting there talking to Loida, like, are we really at the point where I remember when I got into business back in 2013, okay, just so you guys have scope if you're in Los Angeles, there were still properties in South LA for, I would say, mid 200s, maybe creeping up towards 300, and now they've like doubled basically in 7-8 years. It is nuts.
You really can't find anything under 450, I want to say. Maybe not even under 500,000 in LA. Yeah. And if you do find something, it probably needs a lot of work and it won't go FHA. So first time buyer, unfortunately, won't be able to get it unless they're willing to do the repairs themselves to make the property go FHA. Yeah. So those are some of the things that we're seeing out here, and those are some of the tips that we want to share with you if you are working with sellers. At the end of the day, you do have to go and look and assess the property for yourself to see if it's worth it for the seller to do any type of repairs or any type of things to the house. And this property that I was talking about with the seller that I just listed yesterday, what she did is that she did end up cleaning the entire house, and they completely repainted the entire house white. So it looks so much bigger and brighter and cleaner, which is good, because now the rest of the cosmetic repairs are things that buyers, when they come in, the painting in the inside is one less thing that they have to do, and they can really just focus on the bigger things like the sliding doors or the windows or whatever it is that they want to do. Another thing that I do want to mention is that before you put the property on the market, what you can do is that you can get a home inspection. That way you can upload it onto the MLS, or at least you can share it with your seller, or they can order it themselves, but at least you can see exactly what items might be of a concern for once the property is put on the market. And then at that point you can determine whether or not the price that you had suggested is the right price, or you need to come in at a different price for your listing price, just to make sure that when a buyer does come in and they do their inspections, you can sell the property the way that it is, and they're not going to be asking for any type of repairs.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I can add to for the agents, be smart, be a little savvy in this market. Don't walk away from a listing because you're asking for 6 months and they only want to sign for 3. Use your head. You're going to be under contract within a week. Sign a 30-day listing and then get an extension if you're in escrow and you need it, right? Like, think ahead a little bit with the price. Let's say you know it's worth 500. Like in our market, I know it's probably going to sell for 550. So if the seller is really pulling and jerking my chain to list it for 510, I'm going to list it for 510, right? Because I have to think based on my current market conditions, and what you're experiencing now is not the norm, and this is crazy. So you can, in a sense, take advantage of it from a strategy standpoint, right? And that's something you always have to do as an agent as you get more experience and you become more savvy, to create more opportunities for yourself. In a regular market or a buyer's market, would I recommend that? Absolutely not. 100% I wouldn't. However, in this market, the price and the length of the contract and stuff like that, you can consider it, right? Because if somebody said, I'll give you 7 days, I'll be like, I don't even need 7 days. Give me 48 hours. Right? And that's how we have to start thinking to position ourselves and be a little bit more savvy as realtors, and to get ahead a little bit more and create more opportunities for yourself. And
also, when you are doing your homework, if perhaps you're the only property that's active on the market, of course everyone's going to go and see your property. This listing that we're talking about, our listing is the best priced home in that entire city. Yep. And the only other property that was active already went under contract. So of course, the moment that mine came up, everyone is going like this, like how Bryan mentioned earlier, just trying to get in there. And I have had over 40 showing requests in the past 24 hours of people and agents that are going yesterday, today, tomorrow, up until the day that we're going to be reviewing offers. So that just goes to show you that, you know, ultimately you do have to make sure that it's priced right. and do your homework. And by doing things like this, that's how you are going to be able to represent your seller in the best way possible and negotiate the best price and terms for them, so that then they are happy and excited, and they're going to be shocked and surprised at the amazing work that you did, and they're probably not even going to believe that you sold their property for significantly more than the asking price.
Yeah, and you get calls like, "Hi Loida, I watch you on YouTube, I love your stuff, can I show your house later?"
Yeah, I've got a few of those. So if you're watching this and you requested to see one of my listings, I appreciate you watching. So that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful for you guys. If you did like it, make sure that you share it, that you give it a thumbs up. And again, let me know in the comment section below, if you are a listing agent, how many offers are you guys getting on your listings? And what kind of terms are you seeing? Because again, I mean, it's so crazy right now. We don't even know how long this is going to last, but we know that definitely listings is the name of the game. So we encourage you to still go after those for sale by owners, those expires, and try to get listings, because that means a guaranteed paycheck for you.
And TBC, remember guys, is nationwide. We can help you out in Southern California, and we are spreading very quickly in the continental United States. So if you guys have any real estate needs or any referrals, reach out to us and we'll connect you with either us or somebody who represents the TBC brand.
Yes. And with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.